What could that mean? The plane actually got up off the ground on time, baby. Oh, yeah. Fantasy baseball picks and bets. Welcome back. Who am I? It's your favorite host, the goddamn sugar man. Come on, Big Johnny Stud, the big man with the big mouth for the big apple coming to you worldwide from Brooklyn, New York, as always, coming out the chair, as always. What else is new? I haven't slept in like 30 some odd hours tweeting nonsense out there. Check me out on the Bird Box, baby. Whoop. At John Legeza Flow, sharper than a razor. Laghezza, the poet, in case you didn't know it. Doing the thing that we do, me and you, the Mayo Media crew, baby. Gotta love Patty Mayo. He is the man up in here. Let me tell you, no matter how cool you think he is, a little bit cooler than that. Check us out on Twitter at Mayo Media Net. Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe. Pressing cartoon fingers, pressing cartoon thumbs, pressing cartoon anything. Just stick your cartoon finger right up inside me, yo. Because that shite matters way more than it should. Way more than it should. That's how we do it around here. We do not BS you. All right, we're running out of time. That's enough nonsense for me. Let's go do the thing that we do. We're going to try and blow through the PM slate. As we do it, I'm going to allude to a couple plays. They call that a tease in the business. And then at the end, we're going to share it with your underdog parlays coming hot and heavy. Remember, use the promo code MMN right up there over the bowler shoulder holder. That'll let them know Big Johnny sent you. First $100, it's matched. It's for free. If it's free, it's for me. A baby. All right, let's jump right into the games. We're going to blow right through it. First up, north of the border, the Bluebirds. It's the Chris with the Basset Hound on the bump against Aaron Cy Volley and the Flatfish from Florida. Those pesky Rays. NL East showdown. Oh, man, a lot of us, including myself, looking for a bounce back from the Blue Jays on offense just as a whole. Got a little bit of it. Oh, there's a Vladdy fader. Uh-oh, he got going. But you got to love those young guys get it done. Got to love the Bluebirds. Bassett, listen, to me, he's just a guy. I'm sorry. Maybe it's the fantasy stuff. If you get through 200 innings like you did last year, you're not terrible. But I think 3.6 ERA, 118 whip was probably really the good run out. 4.25 Sierra, single digit swing and strike. Really not what I'm looking for. Well below average chase rate, below average zone contact rate. He kept the ball in the yard. That was pretty much the claim to fame right there. Lefties have had their way with Bassett, excuse me. On the other side, Savale, man, it's been a real up and down from him. I always get worried whenever the Guardians don't want a pitcher. I'm kind of worried, right? Because they're generally one of the best as far as R&D development, maximizing output goes. So when they don't want you, it's like, oh, ugh. Well, he went to Tampa, which is one of the teams like, if Tampa's interested in you, maybe we want him. And he went to Tampa. It's actually awesome. Don't be fooled. I know the ERA was like north of 5, but he had a ridiculous K- walk. I don't know if I'm really buying the strikeout stuff. I think maybe they can get a little bit more out of him. But it was 23 on the year, 10% swing and strike, 23 whiff. Again, really not great. So that's going to be the first one. I've been digging those no strikeout in the first inning on Underdog. We missed one yesterday, but, man, maybe shame on me. The first inning stuff is always kind of wonky. The harder caps we hit 2 or 3, we probably should have did the insurance, right? Leaning into those under on the 15.5 outs. When you think of a pitcher where it'd be considered a success for them to get through 5 clean, and that's a best case scenario, under 15.5, definitely a play that I like. I don't have any of those today, but we do have the under strikeout first inning. We'll get to it in a little bit. You've got Vlad, Springer, Bichette up top. Guys, really tough to especially Springer hit a dong already. When he runs hot, he runs white hot. This one on the big board, probably pretty close to even. If anything, I don't have much of a lean. Yeah, I got plus 110 to Toronto, minus 130 to the Rays. Probably makes a lot of sense. OU8, really nothing, standing out there. I'll give you a quick look at the algo. Yeah, I got Tampa with a win late, but again, I really don't want to get to the thing that I actually have. If we have any betting people, is my algo is I'm over the F5 3.5. Again, check me out on Twitter at John Legeza, pin tweet. Lots of data. Forget about it. Right now, it's free. It's absolutely ridiculous. You could thank Pat for that. It's free because of him. So, starter pitcher ranks, the algorithm, implied team totals, and if you're early in the day, certain books are doing highest scoring team, which is like a perfect translation for my implied team totals. And we did really well on those last year. So keep an eye on that stuff. Again, all the algo results are public, And I will refer to them, but again, you can follow along my handy dandy picture sheet. It's free, and follow along all this good stuff. Let's go. Next up, it's the Buccos, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Martin Perez up against AJ Puck. He's back from Miami. Man, I love seeing these kind of reclamation stories happen. We just saw it the other day with Garrett Crochet and the White Sox. Look out. Sometimes talent is greater than sign everything else. And even the guys that we think, can't stay healthy, Royce Lewis, do end up eventually staying healthy, Pablo Lopez. And that's just what it is. So if Puck is healthy, you got to think this guy's going to be good. He's pretty much always effective. 56 and 2/3 last year. However, I really don't want to overreact. To get a sense of who he is, I mean, a sub-3 Sierra, 116 stuff plus on the fastball, 32K to only 5% walk, 27K on his BB, off the charts, kid. 76% in-zone contact. He's winning in the zone. He is awesome and an absolute freaking nightmare. The lefties don't even bother throwing southpaws up against this guy. But remember, that's a lot of relief work. He was supposed to be a starter. They said they were going to stretch him out. We do kind of trust Miami. I don't know. Maybe I could dig that one. I'm going to be looking at the other side. We got a piece from Martin Perez, who is really just not very good. The Pittsburgh sent down Paul Skeens. They held on to Jones. I think they sent Priester down also. Teams sending down their better pitchers for guys like Martin Perez. Maybe they're going to see if they could squeeze any blood from the stone before they give him the old sayonara. 4.5 Sierra, but a 1.4 whip plus 5. I'm sorry. 4.5 ERA, 1.4 whip, and a +5 Sierra, right? Invalidating even the 4.5 ERA, which is not that great. A 50 stuff plus on the fastball, not any good. 15% K, single-digit KBB, single-digit swing to strike, 17% whiff rate, 90% zone contact. You got to love every bit of that. Keep that stuff in mind. Martin Perez, really not your strikeout guy. In fact, they didn't Underdog does not have the under strikeout posted for Perez. We're going to look to get at him anyway. We'll get through that one at the end. We'll do a little bit of a cap. Let's try and fly through these games right here. I have Miami as a pretty heavy win in this one. Again, if you follow along and you look at the algo, everything is by strength off of a run is pretty much a center point. I want to make it easier for people to read. So when you see like a full run, that's pretty much the green light to go after it. And in fact, when you get beyond the run, or even right up against it, you're talking about a run line, depending on the actual algo scores themselves, right? Not to go too far into the weeds, but I have Pittsburgh around like 3.5, maybe a shade higher, and I have Miami up near 5. You don't want to just subtract, say, oh, look, a 1.5, there's a run line, but a 3.5 could be 3, and the up near 5 could be 5 and above. Remember, a good model, a good algorithm like my own is never going to tell you a team's going to score 11 runs. Just how it is. If you want to check it out, the implied team totals, again, are free, available. It's a scale, people, right? Understand the scale. Understand also that the average team getting off the bus is good for like 4 to 4.5 runs. Even with a strong team in a great spot against a bad pitcher, you're probably never going to model up above 7. Anybody that models above 7 as a mean, I have a hard time believing it. Again, it's just a math thing. So when you model up near 5, right? Don't want 5. That's near the top. 5.5 to 6 is how you get to 12, right? Meaning those teams that we'd be betting on for the highest scoring team are going to be modeled for 5, 5.25, 5.5, probably going off at +11, +12, 13. I actually think it came off the board, in case you're wondering. I have Miami and Cleveland, actually, at the top. You go check my work, and it's all public, it's all forward-facing. Next up, my New York Yankees, the Bronx Bombers, the Pinstripers. You know I love the freaking Highlanders for some reason. Carlos Rodon on the bump. What are we going to get from him? I don't know. We do know there is topside there, right? Again, I'm like one of those pessimistic Yankee fans. I kind of hate how they do business, but I still love my team. But I had no problem betting against them. But you do got to worry about Rodon because there is topside potential there. Be wary of anybody that thinks he's trash. He is not. There are such things as throwaway seasons for pitchers. This just happens. Injury with the timing and the rehab, getting going just doesn't work. He sputtered. It just never happened. If Rodon looks sharp, I mean, he's a guy you're going to want to get behind. On the flip side, Christian Javier, this guy's another, mystery wrapped in an enigma. Very hard to figure out last year. Javier went 162 innings, 4.5 ERA, 1.3 whip. All the indicators up 5, near 5 or above. XFIP at 5.16. 9% walk rate, 14 KBB. These are not great. 25 CSW, that's cold strikes plus whiffs. Also remember, 9% walk rate when you come and hang with us, the nuance and the context that you get when you're with Mayo Media Net. Remember, MMN when you sign up to that shit. Because if you want the show on for all year, that's how you do it, right? You support, there's cartoon fingers, cartoon bells, remember, right? One hand washing the other, a culture of fishermen. Everybody teaching each other to get better every single day, being part of the phalanx, right? The sword and the shield. Even if I may be Leonidas in this version of 300, where we give the books nothing and take from them freaking everything. Man, we're all part of this, right? One weakness in the shell is a failure of the set. I truly believe in that stuff. P.O. DJ Stoner up in the house. Bong Ripper baseball season from Garden City, Colorado. I see a Mile High City in DD-do. So, listen, it's a mixed bag with Javier. Again, sorry, the advanced stats. That was one of my spinning polls right there. 9% walk rate. When you hang with us, nuance and context, we look at ball percentage. Way more predictive, way more important than walk rate. Just so I'm not using stats that no one knows, give you an idea. You figure, let's go 35 to 36% average. Every tick is a grade, like quite literally, So if 36 is average, 37 is 38 is oh no, 30 It's really bad. And the other direction also, 35, 34 is fantastic. 33 and 32 is when you get into the elite control, Kirby and like Fried and guys like that. So where I'm getting at is Javier's ball rate was up over 38%, which is really bad. It's the worst on the board today, also with a 55% first strike rate. So you see how this can go south for him. And with that kind of same inputs, a 38% ball rate is going to predict probably more than a 9% walk rate. So you do have to be careful with Javier. Again, he's another roller coaster guy. Every time we're ready to get rid of him, because he sucks from April until September, he comes out in the playoffs and he starts to shove. What's going to be the issue today? Both of these pitchers had a plus 53% fly ball rate last year. Hachi-Machi, they ain't going to do it. They both had double-digit barrel rates as well. Going to get you in trouble. Rodon gave up more than 2 home runs per 9. Righties just totally cracked him, though he was much worse at home there in Houston today. This one, again, is probably split on the board. And it's okay to kind of be non-committal. If you don't have a strong lean, you shouldn't be making bets. Yankees at plus 100. Astros minus 120. I don't know. I wish I had the confidence in Rodon to want to bet him because I do like the price. The thing that I do have, somebody pointed out this to me on social earlier. Again, have been very transparent. I'm getting DMs and stuff all day. Yo, the Algo, I'm killing it. I'm like, yo, I'm still kind of setting the table, right? I'm getting ready to make thousands of hopefully well-informed bets while I'm providing content. I'm writing at The Athletic, putting on a show that I'm producing and stuff like. The first week, I'm okay kind of letting the action happen. I'm betting these underdog parlays, make no mistake. But it's very low leverage for me. And I'm not doing my general where there's hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every single night. I have not done that. I'm waiting to do that because it's a lot of money and I kind of want more information. Meaning I'd like to see Carlos Rodon throw a pitch before I bet, $500 on him, for example. You know what I mean? Like, that seems fair. So I have no problem with that. Again, you don't get that from a lot of touts out there in social land that, it's okay to not always be over-levered. You don't always have to be betting up to your balls. It's just not how it is. In fact, I would counter with, you probably should start learning on demo, which is why the promo stuff from Underdog is great because they're going to give you, like, your first reload, but we're not going to use it, right? We're still going to be smart. I don't care if it's free, and if it's free, it's for me, I think, more important than anything, right, is that we get into a methodology, right, a good process where it's sustainable, right? That's really the most important thing. What I'm getting is if you bet without cash first, just on paper, just show that you could profit after 7 days or 14 days, 10 days, 14 days. Just pick something, follow through, track it very carefully, and, see where you went wrong. You might find after 10 days that you were not profitable, and you may have learned something and then save that cash and you'll be all the better for wear. If you want to say thanks for that, good stuff, hit the like button, hit the bell, because that stuff matters more than it should. You really want to say thanks, comment, that stuff matters. Tag Pat on social media, that stuff matters. Sign up to Underdog with the MMN code. That stuff, man, that is like that's the one. That's the chef's kiss. All right, next up. It's the Rockies. They still have a baseball team. How nice of them. Cal Quantrill on the bump. They sent out Kyle Freeland and Cal Quantrill. This is an unserious franchise. They were treated as such. The Snakes with chafed in their backs, spanked them yesterday. Cal Quantrill went 100 innings right on the nose, 5 1/4 ERA, with 1.46 whip, just pretty gross. He is not very good at this thing of ours. XFIP, expected ERA, and Sierra all at 5.5 or worse. 13K to 8 walk. That's an 8. Oh my God, he walked for 13% K. Just atrocious stuff. 8% swinging strike, 22 CSW, 88 zone contact, right? So there's that combination when we're I don't know if I have this one either, but that's the combination. Oh, it is. Okay, so I was alluding that's the combination that we're looking for when we're hitting these under strikeout props, right? We're looking for pitchers, one that don't strike people out, like, oh, but also have a lot of contact, right? Sometimes, believe it or not, wild pitchers can induce strikeouts via chasing, right? So we're going to look to go the other way. And again, where I kind of kicking myself at the Laureano thing yesterday, it happens. So Arizona sending up Carroll, Marte, Gurriel, and Walker in the first. And all those guys are, really good strikeout guys. And not a single one of them have a K rate above 19, in fact. So, when you're getting lots of contact, again, good contact hitters against a poor contact pitcher. No one has a below average chase rate, and only Walker, if it gets to the fourth batter, has a double-digit swing and strike. So Arizona, pretty good discipline. Up top, you're going to find that also. Kind of same thing that I mentioned for the Blue Jays. We'll look at it a little bit more in detail. I want to try and get through all the games and then make sure I do a little cap before I share all that stuff. We were talking about being responsible. So I did promise we would flash this up because, like I said, it really does matter to us. So for the audio-only people, just some, the rules and regulations for Underdog, age, being 18 in the proper state and stuff. More importantly for me, though, is if you find that you're getting yourself in trouble as far as leverage goes, please reach out for help, 1-800-GAMBLER. You could reach out to me directly. But I can tell you what I'm going to tell you, right? I'm kind of an open book. And I'm going to tell you that it's funny, you don't need to stop betting. You should be, if you want to bet as much as possible, if you want to get good at it. The thing that people confuse, they think that means you have to bet lots of money. No, learn betting the science before you switch the light on and go live, right? It's different. Think of it as betting as a hobby against betting professionally, right? So what you need to do is stop trying to bet professionally. You are not there yet, right? You need to learn discipline. Just kill the money and enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it without the money, then you need to stop totally. I think that's the best, that's the best advice, because there are people that want to improve that have the necessary drive, right? And the motivation that I have. You're like, oh my God, you're a degenerate gambler. No, that's what it takes to be really sharp. What you learn, the last piece of the puzzle is discipline. Whoop, feather in the cap, incoming lessons. Man, we need a Funk Flex bomb. How dope would that be? That would be so sick. All right, I'm going to work on that for next season if we get brought back. So we got Cal Quantrill, who stinks, up against Merrill Kelly, who I got to give a little more credit to. 177 2/3 last year, 3.2 ERA, 119 whip. A lot of stuff looking much stronger than I thought. 26K, 12 swinging strike, 36% chase. Those are all well above average. Plus, he pairs it with a really strong elevation basket, 45% ground ball, only 34 fly ball. So he does get hit hard, but it doesn't reflect in something like the expected wobble or expected wobble on contact because of the elevation. He's been a nightmare on righties. He's also really good at home. You pull up to Kelly's crib, the lawn is mowed, the garbage is out, all that stuff. My man doing work at home, man. 183 batting average allowed, 575 OPS. Wow, just phenomenal. So he's really, really good at home. Next up, it's the Guardians. Logan Allen on the bump against the Elephants, balancing on beach balls. Those pesky Athletics. Yes, they're still a baseball team. I like them, but oh my gosh, these bad teams need somebody like me, I swear. I just don't think any of the organizations are brave enough to make a brave hire, right? They're stuck in this like academia, like doing things that won't get made fun of, even if they fail, when you should risk success if it's going to get you made fun of. Risk getting made fun of if it means success. There you go. So Logan Allen on the bump for the Guardians against Oakland and Ross Stripling. Logan Allen, a lot of ups and downs here. You got to be looking at peripherals when we look at him. The 3.8 ERA across 125 and a third. It sounds pretty strong, but big shaking butt. What happened to that boy? Boy, give up a 1.4 whip. That's not really going to do it. Again, 9% walk, but the 36, almost 37 ball rate with the low whiff, with the lack of chase, losing in the zone. It could be really rough. Now, Allen does induce a lot of ground balls. It's kind of been the claim to fame, keeping the ball in the yard, but watch out for the righties. They've done damage. Remember, Oakland sucks as a team, but a lot of it is pitching and bullpen. It's not necessarily the offense. Like, I think the offense is actually a little bit better than people give credit for. you just apply that, as you may. Normally, where that reflects for people like us is in overs, right? A lot of times, Oakland games, the total comes in really low, and that'll be wrong because again, people are just kind of looking at it the wrong way. I was trying to bring up yesterday's. Of course, I am on like the struggle bus. Come on, baby, where are you? No, I can't find it. Anyway, I thought it was. I think I might have even seen a 6.5 yesterday for Oakland. That's what I was getting at. And again, it's just off because the pitching is bad. Again, their pitching is bad enough that they could give up, the 7 on their own at any given time. Again, the bullpen, the back end especially, really bad. On the bump for the Oaktown, it's Ross Stripling, 5.36 ERA, 1.35 whip, and 8.17 OPS allowed. Just awful. Expected ERA up near 6. K rate below 20, 10%. Swinging strike, 23 whiff, really all the stuff that's going to get you in trouble, not inducing chases. He has kept the ball down, but the contact quality is awful because he misses so much. 40% hard hit, 10% barrel, more than 2 home runs per 9. That's a 4.14 expected WOBA on contact. That's just nightmarish. Both sides, hitters, lefty and righty, hit at least 286 against him last year. So you could really get at Stripling. Again, I mentioned before that I had Cleveland scoring the most runs, but again, I have Oakland getting up near 4, so I don't know if I'd go pay for a cover today for Cleveland. I do think I'd like them to win. So if you're into like money line pairing, which I know some people are, again, I go back and forth on it. Although I'm looking at it now, Cleveland's only listed at a minus 130. I'm gonna bet that one straight. I know it's not a betting show, but I'm gonna bet that one straight. Cleveland should not be minus 130. I thought it was more like minus 175. Or let's move that one on. You really want to avoid. Really want to avoid these games if you can. Again, remember at the very end, the show brought to you by Underdog. We have a parlay every single day. I'm going to get it to you. Today's is a plus 325. I've alluded to it. You might have been able to figure some of it out. I think I mentioned 1 or 2 by name. And then at the very end, have a graphic as well. In case I'm talking too fast. A lot of information to fit in here. 5 pounds of shite in a 3-pound box. My middle name, baby. Next up on the big board, who we got? It is the Red Soxums, Red Laundry from the northeast quadrant of the United States of America. Nick Pivetta, 4.04 ERA and a 1.12 whip through 143 innings last year. But here I'd say the peripherals are much stronger, right? The OPS below 690. XFIP and Sierra at 3.5 or below, 121 stuff plus. On the fastball, 31% K rate. Woo! 23 KBB, 13 swing and strike, 29 CSW, and a 30 whiff rate. Gotta love that. Above average chase rate. He does put the ball in the air a lot, and there has been some contact issues, so that's where the home runs come in. So if Pivetta's ever going to get cracked when he does, it's generally via the home run. But in Seattle, man, unless it's hot, Seattle is Jekyll and Hyde, right? Cold weather, that ball dies. Warm weather, you see that ball start to fly. It definitely has to do with humidity and stuff. I'm smart enough to understand it, but too stupid to repeat it. It's probably the story of my life. So right now, I'm really not too worried. I do like Pivetta today. This one is probably my one to watch. We want to see if Pivetta can have that continuation. Again, I'm going to be, as a Yankee fan, don't let anyone of my friends find out. But I'm going to be rooting for the Red Sox this year. They brought in Driveline founder Kyle Boddy as part of their pitching R&D. And I'm a huge fan of his. Just entrepreneurial. He's very daring. He doesn't care what you think. He does things his own way. Knew he had a great idea and made it work. Right now he's working for big ball clubs. So I just love that kind of fierce, that kind of fierce entrepreneurial spirit. So even if he's with the dreaded Red Sox, I'm going to be hoping his guys do pretty well. Bayo looked good yesterday. On the other side, it's the pickle, George Kirby, 190 innings, 3.35, ERA to a 1.04 whip, 6.63 OPS, not a single earned run indicator above 4. He had a 2.5% walk rate, 2.5% walk rate, a 29% ball rate. Just crazy. B asked, what about the Yankees at plus money tonight? I mentioned it, but you got to be worried. You got to be worried about Rodon and the home run problems and the way that Houston has historically hit left-handers. Always going to be an issue, in particular, with the pull-heavy righties that they have, right? Altuve and Bregman. Even McCormick is one of those. Pull-heavy righties in those Crawford boxes can be a nightmare. So I did mention that I do like the price. I did think that kind of stood out. I didn't do an algo read. That I got you back, man. Again, people come here. It's an immersive experience. We're here for you, here for your questions. I'm going to do my best to answer everybody, get to everything in real time. So I pop it over to the algo, check the Twitter handle. It's pinned. It's free. Oh, what I mentioned is I'm kind of have the under here. I have just a shade under 8 runs total, 4 1/4 to 3 3/4. So in theory, like I should be betting the under here because according to the algo, I have a 4-4. Worst case is 4-4, 9 total is a push. So yeah, I'm probably to the under. I do like the bullpens. Yankees bullpen pitched yesterday, so you have to think about that stuff where you might want the F5 under. Let's get back on track. Kirby is the man. You know, the control literally is like, it's quite literally historic. But I wanted to mention 2.5% walk rate, 29% ball rate, just incredible, with a nearly 70% first strike. Just awesome. Also, first mention, oh man, my OG listeners, get ready. First mention of the bully metric. When we say a pitcher is a bully, it means his first strike plus O swing is greater than 100. He gets up, he gets ahead, and he makes you chase his junk. It makes a lot of sense, right? So the first strike up 70, and the chase rate, I think on Kirby's got to be close to 37 and a half. So he's so far beyond. Like to just crack 100 makes you a bully. He's at 107, probably one of the best in the bigs, right? It makes sense intuitively, especially for somebody like me. I like to bet 5 innings where it's bullpen isolated into starters. Man, this guy is consistent as anything because the command is so damn good. Boston offense, I don't want to crap on it, but it's so early in the year. Stug, what's up, man? Yes, some of my OGs popping back into the show. Really do appreciate you support the show if you want it around all year. Cartoon fingers, cartoon thumbs, sticking right up inside me. I assure you, there's plenty of room. Let's get it, everybody. Let's wrap it up. We got 2 more games, a few minutes on the clock, and then we're going to get out of here before any of these first pitches to go. That's going to be the plan. Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. sharp with your homie, the big man, doing the thing. Hopefully breaking down games quickly. Quick look at the board, quick look at the algo, and then come back for the parlay. Going to post the image. You could screenshot it, bet it, and hopefully cash it. Next up, Los Gigantes, the San Francisco Treats, Kyle Harrison on the bump, man. I really, really like Harrison. I know people have been worried about the control. I thought he did pretty well. He kept the walk rate down below 8, but people said he was sacrificing too much command and sacrificing too much of the swing and miss for command. We know through the minors, he really had some hardcore swing and miss stuff that we didn't see a ton of. We saw flashes of it at first. He just really struggled with lefties. Lefties hit 333 against him with 1,068 OPS. Keep an eye on the San Diego lefties. Let me just take a quick look. Who's penciled in right now? So you want to keep an eye on Cronenworth and Profar. San Diego, not really lefty driven, but if you're a DFS player, again, we're just doing it all. That's probably somebody like you sneak in for cheap. On the other side, Joey Musgrove, 3 ERA last year, 114 whip. I know he pitched once and got beat up. I don't care of those non-exhibition games. No one cares about that stuff. Musgrove is a very good pitcher with a deep arsenal. If you're worried about him getting beat up, I'd be more worried that he hasn't fully recovered. That's more the thing, that we want to see, right? So again, if you're into just waiting, having some patience, allowing, for me, I just let the algorithm kind of eat some data. I'm betting $1 here, betting a few dollars here and there, but that's pretty much it. As soon as I get off the air, I'm going to go look for like a 10,000 to 1 strikeout parlay. Like that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? That's my favorite dollar to spend right now until I have the proper information that makes me feel confident enough to actually bet real American money. So San Fran and San Diego, man, I'm really on the fence in this one. I think, again, I really just want to see it. I'm going to go Missouri on this one. You're going to have to show it to me. San Francisco, a plus 125 dog on the road, minus 150 for the Padres. So I don't really like either of those. I want more juice to bet the Giants. I want less juice to bet the Padres. So I'm kind of, I'm on my third scratch, meaning when you scratch your chin 3 times, there isn't enough certainty, right? There's too much uncertainty. Back away. Remember, no bet better than a bad bet. Anytime you bet $10, you lose 10%. You win 10% back, you're still down 1%. So for every time you lose 10%, you got to win back 11. So make sure you really feel confident before you pull the trigger. Again, that stuff matters. Leveraging properly, making good decisions, methodology at the fore. And then, of course, we're going to have some freaking fun here. This is Sparta, baby. You got the guy, the messenger comes. Yeah, we're all nice. We walk him over to the pit. And then, boom, size 13, Birkenstock right to the chest. That's how we do business right here, right? We take care of it, and we move on. Pragmatic, fun, hardworking community at the 4. Last up, it's the Redbirds under that beautiful arch in the middle of America. Zach Thompson going out there for the Cardinals against the Trolley Dodgers. Hollywood always up to no good. Bobby Miller on the bump. And I'm not just mad because they left Brooklyn. I'm mad because they are really, really good. They're really hard to go against. The Dodgers, shift odds like way too far, way further than they should. And it makes it really tempting. I know this is probably not too popular. I think I like the Cardinals F5 run line just because the pricing is so heavy. Dodgers like a minus 250 favorite. It's way too early in the season for that. So I'm actually seeing, you could get the Cardinals with a run at plus money. I tend to like Zach Thompson. I really like Bobby Miller, so I don't think I'm tempting this one. But just to give you an idea of how the madness works, cream rise to the top in a minute. Looking at the Algo has Bobby Miller wiping the floor with Zach Thompson. Man, maybe I do too much fantasy work. I'm kind of into Thompson this year. It's one of my breakout guys. We're going to get an idea of it today. I wouldn't really touch it, but if I was leaning one way, it'd be going against the grain. All right, let's get into these, please, really quick. We're going to get out of here within the next 5 minutes. Right, so the show is right. We're right at half an hour. We want to be getting out of here. So let me bring it up right here. There she blows. We mentioned right at the top, Blue Jays and Tampa. All the Blue Jays at the top of the lineup, Vlad, Springer, Bichette, lots of contact, very little swing and miss. I'm going to tell you, I was a bit conservative here. You can see it. We're going under 1.5 strikeouts in the first inning. Underdog also offered under 1 strikeout, and that was at plus. This was a times 0.7, which is minus 142 rough math. I just didn't want to be greedy. Again, let's get in the win column. Sometimes I can do that. Again, let's try and get in the win column, right? If the models are working and we're doing really good, it'll all play out over time. So give us Savali under 2 strikeouts in the first. Then next up, it's Josh Bell to get over a hit. Again, you could see him playing conservative because of Underdog, you have to parlay. If we were looking at a straight shot, you probably go for the total bases. Josh Bell against lefties in 2023. We use our own triple slash. Would you roll with me? Okay. I like to always kind of bring that stuff up. BA, OBP, slug, forget that. That's like the old-fashioned stuff. We use batting average, OPS, and ISO, okay? Especially for total bases, you want to know ISO. That's percentage of extra base hits. Josh Bell off the rack, 382 batting average, a 1088 OPS, and a 273 ISO. Idea being he gets an extra base hit against lefties in 27% of those at-bats. So 1 out of 4 we're hoping is going to get there. Perez also has a 90% contact. He's terrible against righties. I think I mentioned that at the outset. Hold on, I know I got something for you. Yeah, Perez against righties just really, really bad. 282 average against, 806 OPS last year, only 15% K, 1.5 homer 9. So that's the second leg. Josh Bell will get any kind of hit. And then last up, Cal Quantrill, under 1 strikeout. So no strikeout, none of the Diamondbacks that we mentioned earlier. Carroll, Marte, Gurriel, and then even to Walker, all at a sub 20% K, single-digit swing strikes. And I think Quantrill kind of sucks. Right? He's looking to pitch to contact, which are the guys that we want. What was the contact rate? Is it 90? 89% contact, 38 ball, 19 whiff, only 8% swinging strike. So, right, you can see we want to do more than just targeting K rates. We want to try and build that tapestry with all the inputs, and I think we're going to be in a pretty strong position to crack it. So that's a plus 323. Savali under 2 strikeouts in the first. Cal Quantrill under 1 strikeout in the first, and Josh Bell to get a hit, and that will do it. It's the fastest show in MLB. Absolutely freaking anywhere, baby. Holler if you hear me. Get up in the comments. Let me know what kind of a job I'm doing. Good, bad, or indifferent. I mean it. I want you to get better. I want to be better as well. Listen, you tell me straight up, man, you're too ugly for video. No doubt, bro. Like, I kind of hear you. I was worried. I was worried originally that would be part of the problem. But let us know what we're doing right. Let us know what we're doing wrong. Interactions really matter. When I do really care, hit me up on Twitter at John Legaze. Make sure you check it out. Everything is free right now for at least a week. Algo scores, implied team totals, starting pitcher ranks, every single thing, all the fun stats that I have. Everything is beautiful, compartmentalized, and conditional formatted. team stats, and once we get a weekend, we'll do bullpen stats. I really know what it's like to be a degenerative bettor and to only want to look in one place for the stuff that matters. And that's what I've really tried to do. And I bring it really, really cheap, even when we switch to paywall. And it's only a few bucks for the entire year. That's never been my goal. You really want to help us out? Jump on the Underdog first deposit cash match up to $100. Use the code MMN. Thank you so much for picking up what we're putting down here at Mayo Media Net. We're getting paid in the shade, laid like an egg when you roll with me, the big man, baby. And remember, one last thing. When you work this hard, it feels a lot less like luck, y'all. We'll see you Monday. Enjoy the weekend. Happy holidays to everybody. Peace.